Hello class, so I'm going to discuss and explain the common errors you have done in the revision number 3 or in the third revision. So first here in the group 1, so again congratulations to all of you for having an improvement of your manuscript. So first here we need to bold the word figure, the table, and also the page here. Okay. And also in this part, I forget to write a comment, but you need to put here the word research design, research environment, and it must be separated. Okay. We also have research respondents, research instrument, research procedure, and statistical treatment. And this part, you need to bold only the title page, table of contents, list of figures, and list of tables, except on the pages here. Also this line or these dots. Okay. And this is also one of the common mistakes that you have done. Again, you need to review our previous online discussion with regards to the format in the area of spaces. Okay, for example, this is the last line of the paragraph and we have this subtitle. So between these two lines, it must have a 3 spaces. That is why I made comment here, make it 3 spaces. And then between the literature background and the first line of the sentence, it is only a double space. Okay. Again, for the recap, what do you mean by double space? This one is an example of double space format. So as we can observe, the literature background and the gap of the first line of the paragraph, it is a 3 spaces. Okay. So in this part, it must be 3 spaces, and then in this part, it must be a double space only. Okay, so this comment is true to all the parts of your manuscript. Just like this one, so this is correct. We have 2 double spaces in the paragraph, and between the 2 paragraphs, there must be 3 spaces. Okay, so this part is correct. Same here, that is correct format. And also you need to observe if we have this title. Okay, so we need to move it into the next page here. Okay, do not isolate the title without the description here. And in this part, you have, for the group 1, you have missed to put the scale. You only have ranges here, but you need to put also the scale 4, 3, 2, 1. Also this one, the subtitle is isolated, so you need to move to the next page. And here, it must be weighted mean, not just mean. Okay, weighted mean. You need to also observe that the logo must be in circle. So this one, it's an oblong, so change this one into a circle. And then for your researchers biodata, you need to use the institutional email. Those who have this at biso.edu.ph. Okay, so we're done with group 1. Now let's proceed to group 2. So if you have this address, you need to put a comma after the Kandihay. So Kandihay, comma, Bohol. So this one, this must be a single space. Same with this part. Okay, and again, do not bold the page number here and the dots here or the line. Only the title page, table of contents, list of figures, and list of tables. And you need to remove also the extra spaces here. So there's an extra the top of it, so you need to remove. And then you need to capitalize each letter. I mean the first letter of the word, the letter C and letter F for the conceptual framework. And you forget to put comma after the last name of the author, so you need to put comma. So in this part, you only have two legal bases, so it must be three. So you need to add one more legal basis. And this one, it must be in a bold format. And you need to proofread your manuscript. There must be a space between the March and 29. Also here, you need to change this one into single space. And you need to add space between approved by and the name of the campus directors for the signature space. And again, if we have put PhD, if you have doctor in the first part of the name, so no need to put PhD, it will become redundant. And then for your picture, it must be in a square, one by one. Okay, and the word researchers biodata, it must be capitalized each letter. And don't forget to remove the extra page, page 32. So we're done with group 1, group 2. Now let's proceed to group 3. So I need to bold the page, the word page here. So this is the right format. You only bold the title page, table of contents, list of figures, and list of tables, not the page and the lines. Okay, so same comment in the previous group. This is right. They have three spaces, but on this part between the research environment and the first sentence of the paragraph, it must be double space only. Same here. It's you have an error here, so it must be double space, not single, not three spaces. So you need to review your reference list. Some of these are not in single space. Others have this 1.5. So you need to double check here. And I suggest for the group 3, I suggest that you will, I don't know if you already went to the statistician, Dr. Maputo, to ask if it is okay to have this kinds of questionnaire. So we're done with group 3. Now let's proceed to group 4. So you need to add comma after the word kogtong. So kogtong comma kandihay bohol. And don't forget to remove the in after the requirements for the degree. I know that in the previous manuscript they have in here, but we will have a modification in that part. After the word degree, we will have this Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management. Okay, no longer to put in before the course or program. Same thing here, to bold the word page and the chapter, only the letter C must be in the capitalized letter. This one, the highlighted one, is must be page. It must be bold. And this is one is not a theoretical framework, but instead theoretical and conceptual framework. Same comments as you can observe. This is not double space. This is three spaces. So you need to change into double space only. And then this is, since this is, we only have one list, so it must be in a singular form. Though we have different references, but we only have one list, so it must be reference lists. This part, you need to bold the name of the signatories. So we are done on this group. Now let's proceed to this uh, group. So if we have the same comments, so I will just jump to the other comments. So this one, I highlighted all of this because they have different indentation length or length of the indentation. So you can observe here, you have this space here, but in the previous paragraph, they have different indentation, okay, length of the indentation. So you must have this equal um, indentation, length of the indentation. This one, this is also wrong again because it is a three spaces. So it must be double space only. I also highlighted this one because they have lacking of related literature and related studies. So you need to add more three. I suggest that you will add more three related literature and three related studies. And also, this is also a common mistake that I observed in your theoretical and conceptual framework. You need to fit uh, you need to fit the illustration for this graph inside the standard format. So you can observe there is a limitation that it must be in the 1.5 inch in the left side for the standard format of the margin. But on this part, okay, so you exceed the allotted space here. So you need to make some revisions. So you may have the you may change the size of the font, okay, to fit into the standard size of the margin. So same comments, it must be double spaces. And don't forget to review that there must be a space for the signature. And then you need to capitalize also this one. Next group, group 6. So again, you need to make sure that the page number is aligned. Okay. Okay, so you need to review again the spaces. You need also to fit into the standard margin. So you need to make some adjustment. Okay, the double spaces. You need to review that. And please remove the miss, okay, the name of the signatories. So you need to review because some of you have this extra period and some have no comma. So you need to review on that. Again, also I recommend for group 6, you need to meet the statistician and show to her if this questionnaire is um, can be used for your study or for the distribution to the respondents. So we're done with group 6. Now let's proceed to group 7. So don't forget here to double check, especially the spaces. Okay, the spaces. So I observe in this group, you need to enhance in the area of the spaces, bold, and indentation also. And you need to review the format in citation. So you can observe here that must be in 3 spaces between the 2 paragraphs. So I suggest also here that you need to add more literature background and related studies. And literature background, related literature. Okay, so you need to double check the spaces. So I observe majority of the errors that you have is in the area of double space and 3 spaces. Again, for this group, I think group 7, you need to ask help from your classmates on what to put here in the reference list. Okay, so this is not the right format to put in the reference list. And you need to check also the logo that you have used. So this is the old logo of CITAS, so you need to change it to the new logo of our college. And don't forget to bold the name of the signatories. And you forget also to put the appreciation message in the last part of your instrument. And the word researchers biodata, it must be in the first researchers biodata only. So the second and the third researchers biodata, you need to remove that. So we're done with group 7. Now let's proceed to the group 8. So as you can see, we have these same comments with the previous group. So again, there's some also have an issue with regards to the spaces. You need to double check your spaces. So between the paragraph, it must be in the 3 spaces. But if there's a subtitle and the details, so it must be in a double space. Same with the paragraphs. And also don't forget to remove the formula that you put in the statistical treatment. What do you mean by the formula? This one, the highlighted one. So you need to remove this one. I know that some of the manuscript that you have seen in the library, they have this formula, but in our case, we need to remove this one. And the name of our campus director is Luz Minda and not Luz V. Minda, only Luz Minda. And you need to review the font style here. I think this is not an Arial. If this is an Arial, I think this is not a font style. Font size 12. I think it is font size maybe 10. So double check this one. It must be in a 12 font size. And here for your questionnaire, especially in the part 2, so you need to change this one into the single format. One thing that is advantage, if we will change this one into single space, we can save the spaces here for your instrument. So you can also save your budget when reproducing this instrument. So next group, for the group 9. So based on the observation, we have the same comments. Majority is about the table of um, table of contents with regards to the format to make it bold, and also here theoretical framework, it must be theoretical and conceptual framework. Don't forget to review if there's an extra spaces here, just like this one, so you remove the extra spaces. And then on this part, in the last part of your literature background, you need to add one more paragraph as a concluding statement. Also this one for your the indicators under your sub problem. No need to capitalize the first letter of the word, okay? Because they have this one sentence. So it must not be in a capitalized form, the first letter of the word. Need also to check the spaces here. It must be double space only. And this one, single space. You need to change this one into a single space. Also the reference list, make it sure that it is in a justified format. So this one, it is not justified format. And again, for the name, it must be in bold. So again, there are only few errors here. So you need to really read your manuscript. Okay. All right. Let's move to group 10. Okay, for the group 10. Also here, I think you're not still changing the font style of your page number. This is my comment in the previous discussion. So it must be in Arial font style. Also, you need to observe the proper margin here for your table of contents. Again, for the word rational, only the letter R must be in the capital letter. And I can also observe here, your margin here, it is not in 1.5 in the left. Okay, so you need to change this one. Also, the format of your citation, this is a wrong one. So you need to review the proper citation in the last part of the paragraph. You need to observe also the length of your indentation. So this one is different from other paragraph. Also the format of your citation. And also here you don't put the title like theories and legal basis. So you need to put that. Indentation also, you need to observe that. And then this is not a range, this is a scale, so you need to add also the range. Remove the formula also. And the reference list, you need to use the right format for the reference list in APA format, and also the justified format here. Also, the name of Mamakas, you need to put the MBA HRM here and remove the Mrs. Okay, same comments in the previous groups. So you need to review also. So there are also some minor errors, so you need to change that one. Now let's proceed to the group 11. So as you can see, have this the same comments with the previous group. Also the first letter of the first name, not the first name, the word, you need to change this one. So you should not capitalize the first letter of the word in the statement of the problem part. So also here you need to have this balance noted by Lizelle Macas. So in this part you need to also have my name here. And if you put noted by here, so you need to put also on this line recommending approval. Okay? So you need to balance the details that you put in your transmittal letter. So we're done with group 11. Now let's proceed to group 12. So we have the same comments also. So you need to use it al to 3 or more authors. The spaces, you need to change that one. And for this one, you need to add more, and you need to add one more theory because you only presented here two theories and two legal bases. And make sure that it is a justified format. And add ranges here. So there's a line here, so you need to remove that one. Same also here. So you need to remove the curriculum vitae because we only use the term researcher's biodata. And for your researcher's biodata, it must be in one page only. So you need to make some adjustment. Alright, so let's proceed to group 13. So as you can see, I have a lot of comments with regards to the table of contents and also the issue about the spaces. Also this one you should not use the word we, so instead we will use the third person. For example, in this study, the researcher selected 3 theories, something like that. Again, for the SOP also, you should not capitalize the first letter of the words. Since this is one sentence, so only the first letter of the first word of the sentence must be in the capitalized form. So this highlighted one, you should not bold here. Also here, it must be in a single space. So there's no space between the name and the word researcher. Alright, so we are in the last group 14. In the word chapter, only the letter C must be in capitalized form. Also this is not the right format for the citation. So you need to review the page 11. Same comments with the SOP. You should not capitalize the first letter of every word, only the first word of the sentence. First letter of the first word of the sentence. Also this is not in the right format, so you need to double check this one. So you need to remove the period on the PhD and EDD. Alright, so we are done in my explanation with the common errors. So again, based on my observation with the revision number 3 or the third revision, the major errors of your manuscript. First is on the table of contents, in the area of the you need to there are some that has no bold format, so you need to change in a bold format. Also the margin, it must be in 1.5 length in the left side, especially on your theoretical and conceptual framework. So for the theoretical and conceptual framework, you need to follow the margin, okay? And also, one of the major errors that I observed is the issue about the spaces. So the space between the two paragraphs, it must be three spaces. But if there is a subtitle like I mean, research environment, and then below there's a paragraph on that, so you need to follow the double space. But the subtitle like research environment and the upper paragraph, so that must be in three spaces. Okay, so I suggest that you will revise your paper as soon as possible and then submit for the fourth revision. So after the fifth revision, we will have this oral defense or pre-oral defense. Thank you.